For tonight's focus on Black History Month, reporter Chris Mortziviza takes us to Lafayette, Indiana to speak with members of Harrison High School's African American Leaders of Tomorrow Club about the status of racial equity and the organization's ongoing mission.
We've had people who aren't minorities come in.
Harrison High School juniors Clifton Rucker and Kayla Julian say they've grown up being judged by the color of their skin. So Rucker says they're trying to bring cultural awareness and diversity to the high school to encourage other minority students to stay.
A lot of minorities don't often feel too comfortable there, so they go to a school where, like Jeff, has a lot more diversity and culture, whereas Harrison is somewhat lacking. So we want to make them feel comfortable.
Both Rucker and Julian are lifelong Tippecanoe County residents, and both say their parents chose to send them to Klondike Elementary and middle schools because the student populations are more diverse there. Julian says things are different at Harrison.
We've had like a few times at Harrison where people have come out and have said the N-word.
Julian and Rucker say members of Harrison High School's African American Leaders of Tomorrow Club have taken on the mission of educating their classmates and even some teachers who sometimes don't recognize when they treat students of color differently.
As much as we may not have anything like to do with a bad situation, we may not be involved, it's like when something bad happens, all eyes are on us simply because we are minorities.
You want to be upset with people, but then are they really learning? Because you can't expect that to be taught at home anymore. So that's one of the big things that we want to try to do.
Awareness of the racial divide has heightened following the murders of unarmed African Americans, including George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. The students say their parents are teaching them how to succeed in a world where the white majority can see them as a threat.
My parents kind of sat me down and we had that talk because I'm not going to say I'm extremely athletic, but I did go out often and run in my neighborhood. So it was like, I need to be aware of my surroundings and know who's around me and know how to act in certain situations.
Black History Month provides opportunities to teach others and themselves about the contributions that African Americans have made and continue to make in the United States.
It's not talked about often in our regular history classes, so this is where we take our time to share that with them.
We should be learning these things and having these conversations all year long. And I think that's what we want to try to focus on, is trying to open people up to say, oh, this is interesting.
Julian and Rucker say they've grown up having these types of conversations. They appreciate it when white students attend their meetings.
That would be nice for people to care more and people want to be involved and say, even though it doesn't affect me, it affects you and it's affecting you negatively, so I want to help.
Julian says she thinks it all comes down to listening, trying to understand another person's perspective, and taking a step back to ask, is what I'm doing fair? Chris Mortziviza, Fox 23 News.